Why do you keep on reliving your past mistakes? Was that too deep a question for our first date? My bad, lady. Why are you leaving? Please don't go. Looks like I'm starting again.
I got you,
Save scumming is the act of reloading a save file during a playthrough in order to avoid total failure, and it can be done to almost any game that involves a save feature, from a spooky horror game where you're getting your dick kicked by Spaniards, to a Christian game where you're kicking demons with their own dick, to a furry RPG game, and then to Minecraft.
Life's greatest question, would you rather have sex or know the whole FNAF lore?
Here's the thing, right? It's a trick question because you get sex if you know the FNAF lore, so... But this wasn't the usual case. In the early days, when video games were made of wood with little people trapped inside, saving wasn't a necessary feature as early video games were all gimmick but with no plot, and they were mainly short in playtime. But then in 1963, Hideo Kojima was born. But then in 1978, a small game called Space Invaders allowed players to save their high scores and show to people, which in itself became a method known as flexing. And then in 1981, a text-based adventure game called Zork, which had a save feature that allowed players to experiment with different outcomes, so you could bench press sentences or get fucked by a paragraph. And then in 1985, a game called Poppin' Chips released on a console that I've never heard of, but according to Wikipedia, it was the first ever game to allow saving progress. And then game cartridges entered the scene and got blown and whacked off with its battery-backed RAM, meaning that your Super Mario 64 had a battery that was keeping its memory, your save, alive until the day it dies. The world's first Deus Ex Machina, kinda. But then Hideo Kojima made a small game called Metal Gear Solid in 1998, where one of the characters reads your save files and comments on the games that you recently played.
You like Castlevania, don't you?
And then he made Metal Gear Solid 3, where Snake sneezes because he has a cold. A hot lady with cleavage has tactical advantages on me.
It's so hard.
And you can skip a boss fight against an old guy by just shifting your date to a week on your console, and the boss dies from old age. And that's crazy. And so is this. If only there was a way to cheat past that. Oh, never mind. Some people would describe save scumming as borderline cheating, whereas I would say who gives a shit, as it's only affecting single player games. However, if you save scum in multiplayer, I don't know how you do that, but it seems like a real Scooby-Doo villain type of situation. But there are many reasons why someone would save scum.
Hello, Dad. I'm in jail.
The player have a desired goal that needs to be met, and sometimes, primarily with multiple choice character heavy games, it's very hard to achieve that. And they can't really go with the flow, and they're often wife beaters or a Christopher Nolan villain, which are wife beaters. You know, the
I can't have you. No one else can.
real subtle.
Hi, Dad. Happy birthday. I'm in jail.
Players introduced with an idea in a situation like, what if I jumped off the map to land on that thing kind of thing? What if I tried RPGing that boulder? What if I didn't bang Catwoman? What if I throw a flashbang in a baby's crib? The question of what if before committing to an idea that'll lead to something new, or you just go and spoil it all by saying something stupid like, did you know in the developing world there are rivers?
It's nice. I like it. Hello, Dad. I'm in jail. Hello, Dad.
Sometimes people are just bad at games. Yep, that's it. I would describe save scumming as your own private Groundhog Day. In Groundhog Day, Bill Murray relives the same day over and over again. At the beginning, he's confused, but he eventually learns to take advantage of it, and that sooner or later leads to a suicidal change of heart and decides to better himself and buy insurance from Ned and have a nice sleep with Andy McDowell. And I would describe that experience that Bill Murray goes through as to playing a game. You either go along with the ride the game gives you, asking what if, or just trying to get the perfect playthrough is a key reminder of the play aspect of playing a game, which I think is kind of lost with the murky and sweaty pool of multiplayer games and battle passes and whatever the fuck this is. Despite it being a method that downright defeats the purpose of difficulty levels and experiencing a game through a single playthrough, but I'm all for it. I'm currently doing it with Baldur's Gate, and I'm still in Act 1 because my entire purpose has shifted from the plot to the more attractive plot. I've done it with Resident Evil 4, I've got an S rank plus, and I'm proud of it. I've also done it with the old Doom games because that's how you gotta play the fucking game, unless if you're raw dog permadeath in it like a maniac who puts milk before cereal, which is only excusable if you're heating up the milk beforehand, like an absolute hunk. I personally think if you're safe scumming on a single player game just for the fun of it, 'tis cool. And if people are judging you based on that, they're elitist pricks that I will personally challenge to duel at sunrise at my local KFC. Why do you keep on reliving your past mistakes? It's a deep and philosophical question that I asked you earlier, and a 7-month-old baby, and the baby responded with goo goo gaga, the end is nigh. The point of this video is that save scumming is a crucial feature to gaming, to enjoying a game and to be playing a game, because at the end of the day, video games are just for fun. However, my most crucial point of this is that it's Groundhog Day. Happy Groundhog Day!
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we
I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made a solid background noise. I apologize to the people who sat through this thinking this was a saves coming video, but I'm pretty sure that's just called a sperm bank. Yeah, looks like I'm starting again.